In the previous video, I gave an introduction to MySQL, the databases, tables, and various rules. If you have not yet watched that video, I have put the link in the description. In this video, I will teach you about various data types in MySQL. Data type is placed on a specific column to limit the value that can be stored in that column. MySQL supports three data types. They are string data type, numeric data type, date or time data type. Firstly, let's learn about string data type. It is also known as character data type. Data that cannot be used for mathematical calculation and manipulation is called as a character data. To store that data, there are two data types. Number 1. Char. The data is stored as fixed length strings. Its maximum length is 255 bytes. Number 2. Varchar. Here, the data is stored as variable length strings. It uses as many bytes as the size of the data placed in it. It also uses an extra length byte. Maximum length is 65,535 bytes, that is 64 KB. Now let's see an example to understand the difference between the char and the varchar data type. Let's say if I want to enter some values or data in any column. It may be a name. If I want to allot 10 spaces for a name while creating table, I'll type char 10 or varchar 10. Suppose the name is Smith. There are 5 characters in the word Smith. If I use char 10, I am allotting 10 bytes. Even if the word Smith has 5 characters, it will use the entire 10 bytes. But in case of varchar 10, it will use 5 plus 1, that is 6 bytes. Remember that in varchar, it uses an additional 1 byte for storing a data or name. This was all about string data type. Now let's move on to numeric data type. This data type is concerned with only numbers. They are divided into two types. One is integer data type. Here decimal is not allowed. Small int and big int are the two subtypes in integer data type. Second is the fractional data type. Here decimal is allowed. Float, double and decimal are the three subtypes in fractional data type. Okay, I hope the classification is clear. Now the terms which I have underlined are the terms which you will be using while giving a command on MySQL. They are small int, big int, float, double and decimal. In the next few slides, you will be learning about these terms in detail. Let's begin with the first data type under numeric data type, that is integer data type. It has two subtypes, that is small int and big int. The first subtype under integer data type is small int. Before that, you must remember that signed means the value can be negative and unsigned means the value is positive. In small int, range of values, if it is signed, or in other words, if the value is negative, it is from minus 32,768 to plus 32,768. And if it is unsigned, that is, if the value is positive, then it is from 0 to 65,535. This is the limit for small int. If the number exceeds the range mentioned, then it will not come under small int. It will show an error. Small int uses a storage of 2 bytes. For example, if we write small int unsigned, the range of values a column can contain is from 0 to 65,535 and not more than that. The second subtype under the integer data type is big int. Here you can see the range of values. It is a very big range. That's the reason the name of the type is big int. It can contain any number within this range. Big int uses a storage of 8 bytes. If you want to insert any numeric value, you have to first think of the range of value. If it is of this range, then while creating a table, you have to mention small int. But if it exceeds the range and if it fits in this range, then you have to mention big int. This was all about integer data type under numeric data type. The second type under the numeric data type is fractional data type. This also has three subtypes, that is float, double and decimal. The first subtype under fractional data type is float. The format for float is float and in brackets p, s. It uses a storage of 4 bytes. The second subtype is double. The format is double and in brackets p, s. It uses a storage of 8 bytes. The third subtype is decimal. The format is decimal and in brackets p, s. It uses a storage of 4 bytes for every 9 digits. Float and double data types are used to represent approximate numeric data values, and decimal data type is used to store exact numeric values. Decimal data types is used to store monetary data such as amount of salary, bonus, which may come in decimals. Now, you may have one question as to what is p, s, which I have mentioned here. P is precision. That means total number of digits allowed before and after the decimal point. The default value for precision is 10 and S is scale. That means total digits allowed after the decimal points. The default value is 0. This may be a bit confusing. So let's learn it with the help of an example for better understanding. Imagine while creating a table in MySQL, I have given a decimal 7,2 data type for a column named salary. And while inserting amount, I have entered rupees 45,000.25. As per the format we learnt in the previous slide, 7 stands for P, that is precision. That means while inserting the amount of salary in the table, you have to make sure that the total number of digits before and after the decimal point should be of 7 digits. As you can see, the number 45,000.25 has 7 digits in total. This is called as precision. S stands for scale. That means after the decimal point, there should be only 2 digits. In the number 45,000.25, you will see that after the decimal point, there are only 2 digits, that is 25. This is called as scale. I hope you have understood this example. Let us see few more examples. Here, in the first example, precision is 5, total number of digits before and after the decimal, and scale is 2, that means 2 digits after the decimal point. In the second example of decimal 9,3, 9 is the total number of digits before and after the decimal point. In the answer, you can see that there are 9 digits in total, which is called as precision, and after the decimal there are 3 digits, and that 3 digits is known as scale. Similarly, go through the remaining 2 examples. I am giving you a small exercise. There are 3 questions on the right side of the screen. Decimal 4,2, decimal 8,2 and decimal 7,1. On the basis of the example which you saw in the previous slide and the examples which is there on your screen right now on the left side, you have to find the answer. It can be any number. The answer must be in this format. After finding the answer, put it below in the comments. Next data type is Boolean data type. Boolean data are represented by the constants true and false paired to 1 and 0 respectively. These constant names can be written in any letter case. And the last data type is temporal data type. You can see a table on the screen. The first is date. Format is year, month, date. The range of values is also given and it uses storage of 3 bytes. The second is year data type. It uses only 1 byte and the format is that only year has to be entered. The third is the time. The format is hours, minutes and seconds. It uses 3 bytes. The last 2 data types, that is date time and timestamp, have same format. The only difference between them is storage. Datetime uses 8 bytes whereas timestamp uses only 4 bytes. There is also one more difference. Timestamp records the date and time of an insert or update operation automatically. By default, the first timestamp column that is there in the table is set to the date and time of the most recent operation if you do not assign it a value yourself. This was all about data types in MySQL. If you are thorough with all these data types, then working with MySQL will become very easy. I hope this video was very useful. From the next video onwards, I'll be starting the actual practical part of MySQL. We will be using the data types and will be creating databases and tables. If you don't know how to download and install MySQL on your PC, I have already uploaded a tutorial on this channel about how to download and install the latest version of MySQL. Link is there on the I button as well as the description below. You can watch that video. If you like this tutorial, then tap the like button, share it with your friends, and if you are new to this channel, hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching and I will meet you in the next video.